Hey, I know it's been a while. Yeah, I'm holding this because of the flies. So, one second. Um, a dysfunctional family is characterized by conflict, misbehavior, or abuse. Relationships between family members are tense and can be filled with neglect, yelling, and screaming. Signs include addiction, perfectionism, abuse or neglect, unpredictability, and fear, conditional love, lack of boundaries, lack of intimacy, or just general closeness, and poor communication. So, why am I talking about this today? So we're having a rat problem, and we've always had rats, but they've always been not that many. So it's been okay. Oh my god, it's a fly. Sorry. So it's always been not that many, and but it's been pretty bad this summer. I'll be honest, to the point where it's an infestation. That is what it is. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I think. So we tried live baits, live traps, right? Because to be more humane to them, and usually the past years we would catch rats or mice, and we would just drive somewhere far away and let them go. Whether they become food or not, that's not our problem. If it's eaten by a falcon, a circle of life, I suppose. So, then those weren't working. The live traps weren't working. The snap traps weren't working either. So my parents were like, we have to use poison. We have to use rat poison. And the thing with rat poison is, I mean, they die slowly, and they don't, it's not like they're gonna leave the house, the walls, the roof when they die. They're gonna die when they die, and they'll probably die in your walls or wherever it's infested, like the basement, the walls, the roof, the wherever, right? And so now we have a bunch of rat corpses. Sorry, this is TMI. If you're eating, please put it back in the fridge for later. But it's gonna get a little gross. So yeah, we've got rat corpses in the walls. We don't know exactly where. In the roof, in the basement, probably in the pantry. And because of that, we have this. Have you ever smelled death before? It is terrible. It is disgusting. It's like sweet. It's slightly sweet, but it's the most disgusting type of. You know what I mean? It's terrible. It's. My mom was physically gagging. Like, I know people say, "Oh, like I was gagging." No, she was about to throw up. Anyways, so there's that, and because of the corpses as well, there's a lot more houseflies around, because what do houseflies do? They're scavengers too. Like they're gonna eat the dead corpses. And so why does this relate to having a dysfunctional family? This issue and a lot of other issues we have with this house and this family were due to compounded neglect of responsibilities, even though you have the means to do so, to fix something or tend to those responsibilities, right? I understand if you don't have money, right? Your family is low income. You can't do anything about it. That's just how it is. But it's a different story when your family has the means to fix something, to do something, to make it their priority, make your health and happiness a priority. Because also, this is a hazard. I'm pretty sure you shouldn't have dead. Right? I'm not crazy, right? That's something also being in a dysfunctional family thing will do. Like, it'll make you think things are normal, and then you leave the house and talk to other people, and it's not normal. So what was I saying? right? Having the means to do so. If you don't have the means to do so, that's completely different, and that still sucks, like, just as bad. But so that's not my situation. My situation is different, and I will tell you more about it. So let's see, how do I start? To paint a picture of my family, I guess class-wise, you'll understand, but so basically, we're a one-income household, but my dad has a good job, okay? 4 kids, 3 cars. One of them, though, is, you know, really old, but it can go short distances, so 3 cars, okay? Not only that, we have three of the kids are on the insurance for that, and that is expensive. And one of them is a boy, and the rate for that is even more expensive. We have our own house. We have about 3 acres of land, though granted, I mean, my parents, things were different back then, I suppose, but what else? I went to college. I pursued my master's. I got my master's. My younger sister goes to college. My brother is planning to go to college. My older sister tried going to college. She dropped out. That's a whole nother thing. So I hope that paints a picture of our class. And yeah, so we have the means to do things, right? So yeah, I'm just going to first talk about other things that I felt that my family has neglected doing, and then talk about how it affects me, and hopefully you can relate to it, and hopefully it'll probably explain like the way I behave on videos sometimes. Like if I hear someone coming, I'm like, it's because I do not feel comfortable expressing myself as an artist, as I don't feel comfortable them knowing that I have a YouTube channel or have a TikTok or anything like that, because I grew up in a house where you're on eggshells all the time. You don't know what's gonna, make people judge you or like say things to you. And it's conditional love. I'd say there's some conditional love in this family, definitely. I don't experience it as much as my younger sister does, I think. And yeah, so I hope that explains why I'm pretty like secretive. Like my family doesn't know that I have a YouTube channel. But yeah, so with the rats, going back to the rat story, this was, a problem for a while. However, there are problems in our house that have been neglected. Number 1, there is a hole leading from the outside world to the inside of this house, right? I can see it when you go outside, but I didn't think anything of it until I saw a rat just chilling there, just chilling right by the hole in the roof, by the gutter that has been falling down for 5 years, and no one has fixed it. Like the gutter looks like this hanging down. It's extremely embarrassing. So that's where they get in. And then you have certain people in the family making comments like, close the door, that's why we have rats. No, sir. That's not why we have rats. We have rats because you neglected to fix the problems in this house that I have pointed. Not too much, obviously, because then you're gonna make them mad. You can't make them mad, right? You can't point out things because you'll make them mad. I pointed out. I told them, hey, by the way, there's a hole there where they come in and out. No. So don't give me that. Don't tell me that us leaving the door open sometimes by accident is what's letting rats in. That's not what's letting rats in. Your neglect of responsibility of fixing the house when you have the means to do so is the reason. Second thing, another reason the smell of death is so pungent in the kitchen where we make food and eat it, is because there was a leak somewhere and they ripped out the kitchen walls above the upper level of the kitchen walls, ripped it out to try to find the leak. They ripped out another part of the wall between like another room and the upstairs bathroom, which doesn't work, by the way, but I'll get back to that, to find the leak. And they never fixed the wall. They never fixed it. I think they fixed the leak, but they never fixed the wall. So what do we have instead of a wall? We have construction paper. We have craft paper that we taped to the wall to cover up the wall. And obviously the smell's gonna get through there. I don't know what other stuff we have in there that is probably a hazard. I don't know. So there's that. And what else? Back to the bathroom. I mentioned that. So this is a 3-bathroom house. We have 3 bathrooms in here. One is right here. This door right here is our bathroom, me and my little sisters. We have one upstairs. And we have one next to this that shares a wall over there. The one that is over there, not this one that shares a wall to this one, is the one we all use. That is the only one we use. Why is that the only one we use? That is the only one with a working shower, and that is only one of the 2 toilets that work. So yeah, we have 2 showers actually. Sorry, it's a bug. Oh my god, disgusting. Flies. Anyways, so we have 2 showers. The one up there hasn't worked since I can't even remember the last time it worked. Maybe my early high school days, and that was a long time ago. How old am I now? That was probably 7 years ago. I don't remember, and I'm not being dramatic. I don't know exactly why it doesn't work, but they never fixed that. I don't know why they never fixed it. Ever. They never fixed it. It's also filthy and disgusting. The toilet is also pretty gross. It's got like permanent stains on the seat, but like it's what we use when people are in this bathroom over there, because if you gotta go, you gotta go. So yeah, there's that. And this bathroom is supposed to be me and my little sister's bathroom. The toilet chain, apparently they don't make, my parents said they don't make the chain anymore. They can't find the chain that they make for this specific toilet anymore. So they've been saying, oh, we're gonna redo the bathroom, we're gonna redo that bathroom, don't worry, no, it never happens, and it probably never will. Probably never happen until I move out. The sink don't work either. I think you guys have heard me complain about it in other videos. There was this disgusting smell coming from the sink. So it got to the point where it was unlivable. I wanted to throw up. It was so bad, and I couldn't sleep there anymore because I couldn't sleep. So I spent the night on the couch with my dog, and I finally told my parents, and I was like, this is unlivable. Like, I can't anymore. I can't do it. And so my mom came to help me. She undid the U part of it, and we tried emptying out to see if there was stuff in there. There was just some bobby pin and a couple of bracelets that fell down, but it was mostly just I'm not really sure if that was the problem, because my dad was saying, oh, it's because you probably dropped things in there and that's why. I don't know what the smell was. Okay, I do know because I read somewhere where if you don't, the U part is where things get stuck and smelly, but then we emptied it and it wasn't smelly in the U part. But then there was a time last week where I actually did smell the smell, but it was coming from the connection of the pipe to wherever. I don't know anything about plumbing, guys, but it was not coming from that. So I'm thinking like maybe we need a professional, because I don't know what's going on. I mean, the smell has been gone. The smell has been gone for now, so it must have something to do with the U part. But anyways, I know that you have to actually, I don't fucking know. I don't know shit about plumbing. But my dad sure thinks he does, because he sat me down. He was like, do you know why there's a smell in there, blah blah blah? And I'm like, because stuff gets stuck in the U, like some liquid, and it makes a smell. And he's like, no. And he's like, sit down. And I'm like, he's just about to mansplain it to me. And so I'm like, whenever he does this, I just have to take it. I just sit down and I have to take it. And he's like explaining it to me. He's like, well, it's because you have to run water through it frequently, or else that smell's gonna be there. And I'm like, even when that is true, but even when I was doing that, the smell wouldn't go away. It would stay. It wouldn't go away. So I don't know what it was, and obviously he doesn't either. Okay, so he would do that, and so obviously something I had already been doing because someone else told me to do that. That's something I was already doing. It doesn't really make a difference because I don't think that's a problem. But anyways, he's talking to me as if he knows everything. But again, the point is, it was just another band-aid solution, like, to the problem that was to the problem. And again, another thing is, my mom's the one who helped me, not my dad. Okay, so again, he didn't do anything. Okay, and honestly, I prefer that because I don't like it when my dad does something because he just gets mad, even when he's doing something that he's supposed to have been doing for years. He makes it into this whole thing that's like, he just yells, he gets mad, there's no reason to get mad, but he gets mad. And on top of that, we can't try to fix it. Why? Because he's a control freak. If he isn't the one doing it, then it's either wrong or you're just not allowed. You can't do it. It's ridiculous. It's terrible. Because my mom has tried to fix things, or be like, oh, do you think I can try fixing this? And he'll be like, no, you can't. Like, okay, then you do it. But you won't do it. He won't do it. So, what else? Another thing I mentioned, addiction. Addiction can be a sign of a dysfunctional family. I'm not going to be too specific about it, but one of my family members was, I'm not going to say specifically what it was, but they had an addiction, okay? And I think they're okay now, but it was pretty bad. And that shit affects not just them, that affects the whole family. At the time, my little brother he's still a minor technically, okay? He's not 18 yet, but he was, younger teen, right? And growing up around that, it's not okay. Actually, multiple members of my family have had those issues, and we've seen it, and that's not okay. So yeah, what else? What else have we got? We got a lot of stuff here. A lot of things. Oh yeah, me and I used to actually have my own room. Did you know that? I had my own room. I had my own room for I think two or 3 years, maybe. Probably just 2 years. This room used to be just my room. But then my little sister moved in, which I had no problem with. I'm like, we're actually very close because of that, I think. But why? Why do we share a room? We actually don't need to share a room. my mom and my dad don't sleep together in the same room. They don't share a room. Actually, no one uses that room that they used to share. So they've got 2 closets. They've got a full bed, 2 windows, drawers, TV, bookshelf, 2 drawers actually, and another cabinet. So they've got a big room, right? Neither of them use it. My dad, he don't use it. My mom, she don't use it. She actually, so the reason my younger sister had to move in with me is because my mom wanted her own room. Cause she's like, I don't want to share space with your dad anymore, which is fine, okay? I guess I get it. So yeah, she has her own room. But the thing is, my dad, see, this is still more, okay? My dad doesn't use that room either, right? So I told you neither of them use that room. That room is not occupied by anyone. It's just a room that has clothes and stuff in it, and their old stuff. So no one uses that room. We have an empty room. Yet, me and my little sister share this room. This room which is smaller than that room that they have. And this room which I'm pretty sure is smaller than the room my mom is in. So yeah. What's next? My younger brother, right? He did not get his own room that we've had. We've had that extra room. This is another room besides that room that used to be my parents'. This is another room that's a bit smaller than our room, but it has a closet, but it's a room nonetheless. And that room was planned to be his for a long time. That plan they never followed through with it. Why? Because my dad, probably, actually, you know what, it takes 2 to tango, probably my mom and my dad, okay? So my brother had been waiting on getting his own room, and mind you, he is a young boy, okay? Especially when we have the room and space for him to have his own privacy, and not giving that to him, that's unacceptable. It's different if you don't have the space. It's different if you don't have the means. We have the means. We had the means. But that boy didn't get his room until he was turned 17, right? So 17. Where was he sleeping before that? On the couch. He was sleeping on the couch. Didn't have his own space. Nothing like that. It's kind of terrible, but yeah. So yeah. And why did he not get his own space? Why did he not have his own room? That's because of my dad. There were 2 things that had to happen. Repaint the room, and rip out the shelves. There was one shelf that was just like on the upper wall. Easy to rip out, okay? Not that hard. Painting, look, just do it. Just start. It's not that deep. But the way my dad is, he can't do anything unless the conditions are perfect for him to do it. He'll just keep making excuses, be like, oh, I can't because this and this. Oh, I can't because this and this, this and this. Oh, well, you just put more space into that. You put more stuff into that room. Well, now I can't do it, when it's literally probably like a hamper or like something like that, or something we could move back out. Stuff like that. He'd be like, oh, I've been work. My dad, by the way, he doesn't commute nowhere. He doesn't commute anywhere to work, okay? He works from home. And he's been working from home since I was like 13, okay? So I don't want to hear like him being like saying that, because you don't even need to commute like 40 minutes or nothing like that to come home. Like, you were right here. So yeah, so that's why. And even when he finally got his ass on it to start doing it, to start getting that room ready for my brother to have. Yelling, and I mean, honestly, my dad, and I love him, okay? I love my parents, I love my family, but that man has been verbally abusive, emotionally abusive most of my life. And my brother was helping him with the paint because it was his room. I can't even tell you how bad he yelled at him for like letting paint drip down a little bit onto the floor. When honestly it's my dad's fault for not knowing that you should be putting newspaper or something on the floor. Newspaper's cheap, it's free. Put it down. Don't yell at my brother for it, asshole. So yeah, it's awful. And then he just acts like as if nothing happened. After he yells at someone, it wasn't real to him. And he'll be like, he actually said this once. Actually, I'm saying too much, but if my family ever finds out I have a YouTube channel, I'm gonna have to delete this video. Plain and simple. But he basically, there was this one Thanksgiving that he ruined because he blew up. He blew up. And when I say blew up, trust me, like, it was terrible. Everyone wanted to not have Thanksgiving after it. And a few years later, actually, I think like 1 year or 2 years ago, he mentioned something about being like mentioning it. He'd be like, I ruined that Thanksgiving. And I was like, yeah. And then he's like, well, that's your guys' problem. I'm absolved of all that guilt. It's not on me. If you guys have a problem with it, that's your burden to carry. And that's when I clocked him. I'm like, no, I'm also, by the way, I'm old enough now that like I will clock him. Now I am not afraid to do that anymore. It used to be hard, but nah, it's not acceptable. So I clocked him for it. Not physically, but you know what I mean. Cause sorry, the fuck. And the thing is, I have empathy for my parents. My mom's an immigrant, okay? So she had Asian parents, okay? You know what I mean? And that's a whole nother thing. And my dad, terrible family life. My grandpa, not a good person. Was not a good person. In my opinion, from what I've heard, growing up. And his mom was an alcoholic. My grandma was an alcoholic, okay? His brother beat him up. Okay, so I have empathy, right? I do. And that's why this stuff with dysfunctional families, it is so, like, conflicting, because you have empathy for the people causing you this upset, this, like, problems, but at the same time, it's not an excuse, okay? So, yeah. What else? Oh, yeah. There's also a lot of other events that have happened within my family that I can never talk about on here. I've honestly already probably said too much. And I've always been like on the verge of doing something like this, a video like this, to tell you guys more about my family, but I've always been like, no, don't be that person who shares too much on the internet and like puts their dirty laundry out. But you know what? I have just been so upset. Sorry, there's a fly. So upset this past couple of days with the living situation that I am in, because of the rotting corpses. My older sister has been burning incense and sage all day. The only time I should be smelling incense that much is at the temple. I'm not religious or anything, but my mom's parents like were Buddhist, so the temple, I think it's the Mahayana temple in New York City. They have their pictures up there. We go sometimes to pay respects, whatever. And that is the only place where I should be smelling incense and such, because it's not good for you. It was making my nose thing. You guys know I have that post-nasal drip because I couldn't sing for a while. It was so bad. I'm pretty sure I have allergies now or something. I don't know what's wrong with me. Whatever it was making it act up. I was like swallowing post-nasal drip. I was like, it's terrible. I was coughing. It was so bad. And so I texted the group chat. I was like, guys, and also I could see a haze of smoke in the kitchen to cover up this. I'm like, this is not okay. This is too much. Stop the incense. If I can see a haze in the house of smoke, it's too much. And so I told them that. And so they stopped. But yeah. And so yeah, I wasn't going to talk about it. But honestly, I feel that if anyone else is going through something like this, then like just know you're not alone. Everyone, I don't know, there's only a couple people I've met that don't have dysfunction in their family to a medium degree. Like everyone's gonna have like a little bit of dysfunction, and I am 100% sure of that. I don't think there's a single family out there that doesn't have some level of dysfunction. Okay? Because yeah, I knew this one family. They were this picture perfect family. 2 kids, super religious. And everything always seemed like it was okay. But there's gotta be some skeletons in their closet. Like, I'm sorry, like, there's gotta be something, like, I don't know. So, yeah. Anyway, so how does this affect you as a person? Your dysfunction in your family? Well, it can cause low self-esteem, low confidence. It might make you second guess yourself a lot. So that could be one. That's definitely one I feel. And I think it's one a lot of people feel. That's a very common one. You may feel like you don't want to ask for things. You may feel like I don't need no help for anyone, okay? Like you might feel like I can do this myself because I can't rely on others to help me with this because I'll owe them something. Or they won't be reliable or something like that. You feel like that. You might not be easy to open up to sometimes. I am not that way actually. I am very in real life, like if you met me in real life, I'm very like I'm extremely open and very easy to work with. People have told me that, and that's because I actually am the opposite in my own home. I don't show emotion really. I'm very like robotic. Like I'm not sorry, my face is getting red. Like that. So I am not close in terms like affectionate with my family. But I'm outside like my friends, like I'm very open, I'm a different person, honestly. And I think that's maybe because I didn't feel open, like safe to do that in my own home. I remember once in middle school, I did a singing open mic for our middle school art show. It wasn't really a show. It was just like they had the cafeteria. They put up all the graders, the second graders. Sorry, not second graders. All the middle schools, different pieces in the cafeteria, and it was like open from 4 to 9 or something, and people could come in and out and walk around and see their kids' art. And they made a little thing in the corner where people could do open mic. They could like play piano, sing, read a poem. I don't know. I think I was like 12 or something. I decided to sing Selena Gomez. Who says you're not perfect? You know that song? That song was. Sorry, that fly is really big and nasty. So I sang that. And I didn't tell my parents because I was too embarrassed, number one. And I was like, I just want to do this myself. And I just didn't think too much of it. I was like, I'm just gonna do it. And so I did it. I sang that song, and my art teacher or my music teacher had saw it. And when my mom came to pick me up later, she mentioned it to my mom. She was like, "Oh, your daughter has a very beautiful voice." And then my mom didn't know that I was singing, obviously. So after we left, she got upset. She got upset that I didn't tell her, which is fair. But I was explaining to her, I was like, I was too, like, I didn't want to, because first of all, I'm 12. I'm 12, okay? You think I have the faculties to explain myself? I barely have the faculties to explain myself in an eloquent way as my age now, my grown ass, okay? But the point is, she made it about herself, and when I say she got upset, I don't mean she was like, "Oh, I can't believe you didn't tell me that." No, no. I mean, she made it all about herself, and she got upset. She's crying, upset, not talking to me. I'm 12. This is not, like, healthy, okay? And that is not the only time she has done that. Not the only time she's done that. She has made things about herself when that is immature, unhealthy behavior. Look, sure, do that with your adult friends. My family doesn't really have adult friends. They actually have no friends. We're their only friends, which is probably also not healthy. Don't do that to your kids. That's not okay. They are 12. Even, like, maybe someone who's like 17, 18. Look, yeah, I get they're basically grown, but you're still the adult in this situation, so don't do that. And don't be that dad. Like, sorry, I don't know if any of you guys are dads, but don't be that guy, or don't be that, actually both, because I know both can do it, but I know especially common among dads. But don't be that parent that is nice to strangers, that is nice to everyone else, but then treats your kids and your partner like shit. Don't be that guy. Don't be that person, because that's not okay. Because that's my dad. You meet him as a stranger, you think he's so nice, you think he's great. It's a facade. He doesn't treat us like the way he treats strangers, okay? So, I mean, I'm an adult. I'm over it, but the thing is, it has probably greatly, your family dysfunction has affected you a lot more than you think, probably. And that's just what I'm here to say. And I just think, like, there's a lot of stuff I have to unlearn, behaviors I have to unlearn. For example, my parents. By the way, if you are questioning over and over again why your parents didn't get a divorce, you are in a dysfunctional family. Okay, if your partner is supposed to make you bring the best out of you, if y'all are bringing the worst out of you, done. Just stop. Like, let them go. Let them go. You need to find someone else, or you need to step away, work on yourself, and also find someone else who brings good out of you. And not, I have questions. I actually even asked my mom once after a fight with my dad. Not even a fight, actually. He was just fucking yelling at me. I was crying in tears in my bed. My mom comes to comfort me, because it's always the mom that comes to comfort you, okay? It's always how it is. I have a better relationship with my mom than my dad, okay? That is factual. That is how it is. I love my mom. I will always defend my mother. And I know, like, she's not a perfect person, and she has also contributed to, dysfunction, okay? She has. This point blank period. This is true. But I just tend to have more empathy for her, okay? Because my dad, at the end of the day, has always been the verbal abuser. So I was always defend her. And I would genuinely ask her, why didn't you divorce my dad? Why didn't you get a divorce? And she explained to me that she had thought about it, but she wanted to stay for the kids. Hey, if you're married right now and you're watching this and you're unhappy and you are in a dysfunctional relationship that is far from saving and you can't save it because the other person won't change, or I don't fucking know, something. I'm not that old yet, so I'm not that wise. Look, I don't have that. Okay, go do it for your kids. Don't stay for do it for your kids. Your kids don't want to be around that. And I know there's other problems that come with divorce, like making you the communicator, or the kids the communicator, making them there can be trying to win over of sides. That's very unhealthy too. But if it's at the point where the kid's asking you why you didn't divorce, I think the kid would be happier if you did. And that's all I gotta say about that. I don't even know where I was going with that. What was I saying? So yeah, I really want to fucking move out. And I know rent is expensive as hell. But if you're experiencing dysfunction as well, and honestly, it is healthy for you to move out if you can. And to just, you still want that relationship with your family, okay? But it is more healthy for you to move out and visit. Okay, visiting, yeah, because the meeting. Not in a meeting. Anyways, so what was I saying? I don't remember. Yeah, because I don't really have the means to move out anymore because I used a lot of my money on my loans. But honestly, my parents, I think, would be able to help me with a deposit, and stuff. Like, that's why also, like, I'm really hoping I get this job that I interviewed for yesterday. It's not super far away, but it's far away where I have to move. And like, my parents, they, I think they'll be able to like help me with a deposit, and things. So, and my also advice is, well, like, not advice, honestly, there's not really any advice I have for this. Yes, it's like, I know if you're experiencing like pretty bad dysfunction, you might want to move out before you're 18. You want to be, or maybe you just turned 18 and you want to move out. Because I remember being like that. I remember it was so bad one time. I was looking at apartments around here that I could just move out of and be my own. Like, I was thinking, okay, I can work and be in school. I can do this. I can get out. Like, if don't do anything rash. If you can't, just, if you can hold off a little bit longer, and your parents like until you're in a better place financially, I wouldn't do anything too rash. Don't, I get it. I totally understand that. But try not to be rash. Wait until you can. Wait until you really are able to escape or get out of there, okay? And I understand the feeling of, no, I don't want to wait anymore, because the more I do that, then the more I feel like I'm gonna owe them, or they feel that I'll owe them. Once you're free, you're free. Once you're out, you're out, okay? I understand people who actually have those relationships with their parents. I know this girl, their parents are paying, I think, for their college, but that person is really abusive. They're extremely nice when you meet them. I met them, their guardian once. Extremely nice on the outside, right? Terrible person, an abuser, awful. And because they're supporting her through college, which they have the means to do so, they think she owes her, they think this is not her. He thinks the guardian, he thinks that the person that he's guarding, that girl, he thinks that girl owes him something, owes her time, money, things like that. It was so bad, that I know she was looking to just run away. Um, but I think she eventually didn't. But no, yeah, so I understand. You think you're afraid your parents are gonna demand you of stuff. You're gonna owe them, but once you can become financially dependent, if you really want to, you can just go. And you can never come back if you don't want to. I mean, that's not my situation. Do I feel like I owe my parents something? Yes. And that's not good. Why do I feel like I owe them something? Well, because my younger sister experiences a lot of conditional love from this family. Um, and it is kind of like a little of it is valid, but most of it is, in my opinion, it's unhealthy. And I've told people about the situation. So basically, my younger sister hangs out with their partner a lot, more than my family sometimes, but my younger sister's 21 now. Um, she's in love, okay? Like, I don't know, like, and so she's with them a lot. And my parents, mostly my mom, complain about her behind her back. That's another thing. I am also the parentified child. I don't know if you could tell. A lot of kids are the parentified child. Um, am I the oldest? No. I have an older sister, but she's not. She doesn't have what you need to be the parentified child. Not that any child should be the parentified child, but that is what I am. And I'm also the mediator. And it fucking sucks because I feel like a bad person for them, my parents talking shit about each other, and my sister behind their back. Like, I don't know, like, what am I the best thing I've learned to approach that is like I need to be as honest with them as possible. No more of this just agreeing with them to agree, because that's not, then we're not going anywhere. Okay, that is another thing my family struggles with. No one communicates with each other. No one communicates with each other, and it doesn't seem like a big deal, but it is a big deal. Okay, so, but yeah, again, my little sister feels basically like she can't do her own thing. She can't do what she wants without owing something to the family. And I feel that way too, I'll be honest. I feel that way as well. It's a very common thing. You feel guilty for having fun. You feel guilty for going out. And it's because you feel like your parents are judging you behind your backs. And honestly, they probably are. Because as someone who their parents come to talk to about it, they probably are. Okay? And that's not healthy. And that results in conditional love. They will only love you if you spend all your time with them. You spend blah 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 blah. You do this and this and that for them. When quite frankly, that's not how that should be. And I do feel bad for my little sister because, I mean, it's honestly like, yeah, I don't know. Because she feels like she wants to move out pretty bad, and I support that. I'm like, I think you should move out as soon as possible, because I I work at home, like my YouTube stuff, like my art, my music, singing, piano, it's all here, and I do a lot of work here. I do not go out much at all, which I probably will regret when I'm older, not going out to, I don't know, the club or something. I don't know. Um, so I tend to just be at home anyways a lot. Um, but my sister, she likes to go like hang out with her friends. She likes to go out. She likes to like go do things with her partner. Okay, like we're just different, and my parents should not be like, you know, I don't know, but you understand what I mean. And she has like, there have been fights about it. You know, like her and my mom confronting each other, crying, upsetness. Yeah. And so yeah. there's a lot of things that can affect you as a person, and you really need to take time for yourself to break away. And things get easier, especially when your parents get older. They mellow out. My parents have been mellowing out a lot, even though it's been a couple years since starting this channel. They've mellowed out a bit, so that's good. And as you get older, you're going to become more dependent naturally, hopefully. You get a job, you can support yourself, you can get your own car. That's what I'm hoping for me. but it gets easier. But the important thing is not internalizing these things and carrying them forward with your relation, whether it be your partner, your relationship, your own kids if you're planning to have kids, your friends, things like that. Just make sure your communication is open and healthy. If you start seeing your parents and yourself, your toxic parents in yourself, just you need to start journaling for a little bit. Like, really ask yourself, face yourself, like, what action did I just do and why is that bad? Don't make excuses for yourself. I used to do that. I used to have really bad communication habits. I just wouldn't tell people when I was upset by something they did, because in this family you just learn to walk on eggshells and shut up and be quiet. What else do I have to tell you if you're dealing with it? It's not your job to change your family, but there's no harm in trying to do so, is my opinion. As long as it's safe for you to do so. One thing you can do, and probably the best thing you can do, is communication, open communication with your parents, even if they're gonna get mad, as long as they're not gonna hit you or nothing like that. Communicate. You just did this and how it made me feel. Things like that. Don't try not to get, like, yell at them or anything, because then you lose the game. I yell at my dad all the time. I call him a bitch, because sorry, that's what you are. Anyways, communication. Try to be gentle if, like, that's, like, your parent is very, like, reactive, okay? That is the best thing you can do to try to better your situation. Because, yeah, sometimes parents like these, they're not going to change anything. They're not going to do something for you unless it affects them, or they can really, like, understand and empathize with you. Like, for myself, my parents don't fix anything until it's too late, or, like, it affects them, not the kids, like that. That's a little different, but like, you know what I mean? Like, open communication is the best thing. And I guess that's all I have to say for this video. If you're new here, my name's Callisto, but my artist name is Moonrise. I do covers and... Hold up. Stop. I make my own music, okay? But I'm not ready to release any of my music yet, because I only have, like, 861 subscribers, which, sorry, not only, that's a lot for me compared to, like, just a year ago. And I'm really grateful for every one of you here. All of you. Thank you so much. So yeah, my goal is to make my own music. I want to make an album. I have songs, I think, enough to make an album, but I'm not ready to release because I don't have enough of a following. But I'd make covers in the meantime. I'm trying to do covers and just try to be more present on other media like TikTok. Tumblr's coming back. I started a Tumblr account. Instagram, I'm trying to be more open with that, though I hate Instagram. I'm trying to make trying to put myself out there. And I do videos like this sometimes. This is probably the most serious video I've done ever, and I probably should not have done it. I probably should take it down. But what was I saying? But yeah, please check out my covers. I just did DTMF by Bad Bunny, who is the 2026 Super Bowl halftime show performer. Did I show you this here? I made this. Y'all who know me probably already seen it, but I just want to show you if you're new. And if you are new, I would really, really appreciate if you subscribed. It would help a lot. If you thumbs up the video, leave a comment. I am very active in the comments, and I like talking to you guys. So if you, oh, I guess maybe you probably don't want to talk about your own problems about dysfunctional families if it's triggering, but if it's not triggering, I'd love to hear if you relate to the dysfunction in my family. Because I understand. I totally I get it. It sucks. And I'm sorry if you're dealing with this because it sucks. And I'd like to say it makes you stronger, but I don't know if it does. I don't know, like if you're stronger, not you're stronger in spite of it, not because of it, if that makes sense. Like there's a difference between growing up in a nurturing family and growing up because you tell yourself, I cannot be the way that my parents are. So yeah, anyways, I gotta end this video before it goes to an hour, but I'm gonna post another cover. I think I'm gonna try for a week before Halloween because it's kind of costumey, Halloween themed. So I'll have that out next. But anyways, please go check out my covers. I have a playlist here. Some of the quality's not that great for all. Hey, you know what? Confidence. The past couple ones are pretty good, I'm gonna say. And subscribe. Okay.